Welcome to the Compact History podcast from compacthistory.com, where we unpack the past in smart, snack-sized episodes. This is episode 95, The History of Athens. Athens, the capital city of modern Greece, stands as a beacon of Western civilization, having shaped philosophy, politics, theatre, and the arts for over 3,000 years. From its humble beginnings as a Mycenaean settlement to its status as a modern European capital, Athens has worn many faces, each layer revealing something profound about human progress. To understand Athens is to trace the roots of democracy, the rise of classical architecture, and the resilience of a city that has weathered countless storms. Athens' story begins in the late Bronze Age, when it was a small Mycenaean settlement around 1500 BCE, built on and around the Acropolis. Protected by natural fortifications and sustained by agriculture and trade, the early Athenians established a stable community. Archaeological evidence from this period reveals the presence of palatial structures, tombs, and a growing connection to surrounding regions through trade. Following the collapse of the Mycenaean civilization around 1100 BCE, Athens entered what historians call the Greek Dark Ages. Unlike many other Mycenaean centers that were abandoned, Athens persisted. This continuity helped shape the unique identity of the city in the centuries to come. By the 8th century BCE, Athens had begun to re-emerge as a cultural and economic force. The city-state, polis, took shape, and its aristocratic families dominated governance. As tensions between the rich and poor escalated, a series of reforms were introduced. One key figure during this time was Solon, a statesman and poet who, in the early 6th century BCE, enacted reforms to ease social unrest. He abolished debt slavery, reorganized the class structure, and laid the foundations for participatory governance. However, his reforms did not fully satisfy either the elite or the masses, and Athens eventually fell under the control of tyrants like Pisistratos and his sons. Despite their authoritarian rule, the Pisistratids invested in infrastructure and patronized the arts. Their removal paved the way for further democratic reforms, particularly those of Cleisthenes in 508 BCE. Cleisthenes reorganized the political structure to break the power of aristocratic clans, creating the foundations of Athenian democracy. The 5th century BCE is often referred to as the Golden Age of Athens, a time when the city reached the height of its power, culture, and influence. After playing a pivotal role in repelling the Persian invasions at battles like Marathon, 490 BCE, and Salamis, 480 BCE, Athens emerged as a leader in the Greek world. Under the leadership of Pericles, Athens transformed. The Parthenon was constructed atop the Acropolis, symbolizing both the city's wealth and its devotion to Athena, its patron goddess. Philosophers like Socrates challenged conventional thinking. Dramatists like Sophocles and Euripides redefined theatre, and historians such as Herodotus and Thucydides laid the groundwork for the study of history. Politically, Athens experimented with direct democracy. Citizens could vote on legislation, serve in juries, and participate in governance. However, it's important to note that this democracy excluded women, enslaved people, and foreigners. Athens' dominance was not without consequence. Its imperial ambitions and conflicts with Sparta and other city-states led to the devastating Peloponnesian War between 431 and 404 BCE. After nearly 3 decades of warfare, Athens was defeated, its walls torn down, and its navy reduced. Though the city never regained its former dominance, Athens remained a center of intellectual life. The 4th century BCE saw the rise of Plato and Aristotle, who established philosophical schools that influenced thought for millennia. Following the rise of Macedon under Philip II and Alexander the Great, Athens became part of a larger Hellenistic world. Though politically diminished, it retained its cultural prestige. The Romans, who conquered Greece in the 2nd century BCE, deeply admired Athenian learning and preserved many of its institutions. Under Roman rule, Athens enjoyed a kind of cultural renaissance. Emperors like Hadrian funded building projects, including the Library of Hadrian and the completion of the Temple of Olympian Zeus. The city continued to serve as a philosophical and educational hub well into the Roman imperial era. As the Roman Empire divided and the Byzantine Empire emerged, Athens declined in importance. Christianity gradually replaced pagan religions, and many temples were converted into churches. The Parthenon became the Church of the Virgin Mary. When the Ottoman Turks captured Athens in the 15th century, the city fell into obscurity. It became a provincial town, though still renowned for its ancient ruins. The Parthenon was turned into a mosque and later damaged during a Venetian bombardment in 1687, when gunpowder stored inside was ignited. The 19th century brought dramatic change. Athens played a symbolic role in the Greek War of Independence between 1821 and 1830. Following liberation, the city was chosen as the capital of the newly independent Kingdom of Greece in 1834. At that time, Athens was little more than a village with a population of no more than 7,000 people. However, King Otto of Bavaria launched an ambitious campaign to restore it as a modern capital. Neoclassical buildings, wide boulevards, and public squares were constructed, blending ancient legacy with contemporary vision. The University of Athens, the old royal palace, now Parliament, and the National Library were all part of this transformation. The 20th century saw Athens expand rapidly. Waves of refugees from Asia Minor in the 1920s and rural migration in the mid-20th century swelled the population. This boom resulted in a chaotic urban sprawl, straining infrastructure and transforming the cityscape. Athens faced hardship during World War II, including occupation by Axis forces and a devastating famine. In the post-war years, it became the epicenter of political turbulence, culminating in a military dictatorship between 1967 and 1974, before a subsequent return to democracy. Despite challenges, Athens prepared for a new era. The 2004 Olympic Games marked a significant milestone. The city underwent extensive modernization, including new transport systems, an airport, and urban renewal projects, which reshaped its global image. However, the 2008 financial crisis hit Greece hard, with Athens experiencing significant economic and social strain. Today, Athens is a vibrant blend of ancient heritage and modern life. Its historic sites, like the Acropolis, the Agora, and the Theatre of Dionysus, coexist with a bustling urban environment filled with cafes, markets, and cultural institutions. The Acropolis Museum and National Archaeological Museum continue to attract millions of visitors each year. Athens is also a city of protest and political discourse, staying true to its democratic legacy. It's home to artists, thinkers, and activists who continue to push boundaries in a rapidly changing world. Sustainability and urban regeneration are now high on the agenda. Initiatives to pedestrianize key streets, promote public transport, and preserve green spaces reflect Athens's evolving identity as a European capital with deep roots and a forward-looking spirit. Few cities have contributed so much to global culture. From Plato's Academy to the Olympic flame, from architectural ideals to the birth of democracy, Athens has left a mark on every civilization that followed. Its influence is etched not only in marble and manuscript, but also in the values of freedom, inquiry, and creativity. Though it has faced invasion, decline, and economic hardship, Athens endures. Its story is not just one of past glory, but of constant reinvention. And in its sunlit hills and shadowed ruins, you can still hear the echoes of ideas that changed the world. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Compact History, part of the Compact Histories network. You can find more episodes and explore our other Compact shows at compacthistories.com. If you enjoyed the episode, please like, follow, or subscribe. And if you'd like to support the show more directly, why not consider buying us a coffee at compacthistories.com/historycoffee. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.